Okay, I've been working on this thing here, and I've ran into an issue. And the issue that I'm running into is the starter is actually chewing up the flywheel, and it's getting to the point now where the gentleman I purchased the adapter kit off of, Toyworks, I've been giving him quite a bit of calls, and he told me the first thing I had to try was putting a spacer in there. So as you can see, I tried building a 1/16th inch spacer like the backing plate is from these things. And that's still not working. It's actually jumping worse with that spacer in there. So the second thing he's told me to try to do is unbolt the starter, pull the starter out, put a die grinder in the holes, slot the holes like millimeters so I can slide that starter in until it fits right. I'll try to get this truck lifted up here in a couple seconds to show you the damage that it's doing. But what's the really irritating part is a $20 starter, well, a used starter. A brand new starter for this is like $100, but these starters I'm buying used are only like $20. It just tore up a $300 flywheel, all because of a misalignment issue. Now, I'm not saying it's Toyworks' fault, and I'm not saying it's my fault. I called him, and one of the things he told me is the transmission bell housing can be bent because it's aluminum. Maybe something over the last couple of years has been dropped on it or something like that. But I did buy it from a parts guy who says he's had it out of vehicles for years. So I'm not 100% sure that that's straight. Now, the only way to actually check to see if it's straight is to have another one here, which I don't. But bolting it on there, one of the bolt holes from his adapter kit to the transmission, so from his adapter kit to my transmission, did not line up. So that's why I'm kind of thinking maybe the bell housing actually is bent. But I'm trying furiously, like many different things, to see what I can do to make that better. So let's get this truck up and I'll show you the flywheel. So, let's get underneath here now. So, I did cut the bottom of the transmission out like in that previous video, but you can actually see where the starter is grabbing on there. Like, it doesn't look like it's... Come on, focus in there, camera. Alright, my camera has decided not to focus in on the chewed up teeth, but you can see how badly they're chewed up there. It definitely doesn't look like the starter's coming in all the way. Like, you can see chunks. Now, if you actually look up there, you can kind of see the starter as it kicks out into it. It definitely looks like it's way too far away. So I'm going to try to slot those holes and bring that starter in closer. I'm sorry about my camera. It's just an iPhone, and I'm getting really upset with iPhones. I probably won't use another one ever again in my life after my contract's up. But there you go. There's the teeth that are all chewed up. So we'll try to get this problem fixed and see how it goes and slot those holes. I slotted the holes on that starter, and I still have problems. So as you can tell, I'm kind of missing something in this engine bay. And I can't really put my thumb on what I'm missing. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. I just called Shane and told him my problem, and he told me to just bring the whole unit to him and he'll inspect it. So we'll see how this goes. And hopefully everything goes okay and we find out what's wrong with this. This is the kind of thing that you want. When you buy something from a guy that makes a custom adapter parts for something like this, if you have problems, he's willing to get it back to him and find out the problem and get it fixed. You can't ask for anything better. And since the motor's out of the truck, and I have a truck now, I will be taking this into the town when I get it back from Shane and fully pressure washing this completely, getting it all cleaned up, putting some good spray paint, heat resistant spray paint on it, and going from there. But yeah, so this is how I'm going to resolve the issue I'm having, is take the whole unit right back to him as it sits, and he can see what he can do with it. Alright, I'll get you guys informed with what's going on later. But I might actually take this truck into town to get it pressure washed again, because I've done a lot of work underneath here, and it's getting pretty dirty. I'm not really liking how dirty it is, so I'll maybe tomorrow I'll hook this up and throw it on the trailer and take this into town and get this completely cleaned out, pressure washed, and get some new paint on her. Because you know what, there's no sense in doing all this work if you don't paint it to make it look nice. It just looks like shit at the end. So we'll get going on this.